Okay, hey, what's up, everybody? This is the Reluctant Nabi back again. All right, hey, what's up, One Loyal King? Um, so, the Reluctant Nabi back again. All right, hey, what's up, One Loyal King? Hold on for a second, everybody. Quick. Okay. Um, so, there's a lot going on. All right, and there's a lot of stuff that are happening right now. And hate to say I told everybody so, but I told everybody so. I told everybody exactly what was going to happen, how it was going to happen, um, because in a place of crookedness, but things are a bit deeper. Things are a bit deeper. Okay. All right. Things are a bit deeper. Things that are going on are a bit deeper than one may care to admit. All right. And so, a couple of things that have come to mind, and that is, I am watching how morally absent, principled people are running the entire world into a hole, and all of this to create a space of slavery, um, to we got people that want access to our children running all parts of our government and the judicial system. All right. Um, and as a result of that, you don't have competent people in any part of the government. And it was worse is you got a lot of people running stuff because they were a female or questionable integrity as to whether they're going to be a full man or a woman or not. All right. Um, there has been some really, um, I don't know if it's in New York, but an attorney general. Somebody please help me out on the state. I could pretty much look it up, but an attorney general, um, general, a female, a BAW, um, wanted to invite um, children to, uh, uh, um, how do you even call it? They wanted to invite children to a TG. They wanted to invite children to a TG um, uh, performance, parade, or anything like this, right? That's an attorney general. All right. Now, one of the things, and this is a good first discussion that that I wanted to talk about as we talk about these things, right? Um, this is how bad it is, and it's the things are bad all the way down to just the worst level. all right, all the way down to the worst level. And we have the same type of individuals that's effing up the entire world. The wickedness that's in the United States, okay, the wickedness that's in the United States is being exported by so the same people that effed up the United States are the ones jumping on the, let's say, the let's get the hell out bandwagon. All right. So when we talk about this passport brother movement, one of the things that I had decided to do, right, is and I'm gonna have my brother come in too, because he posed some good questions, and I was on the phone with him, so that's why I'm a little late coming in, right? But he poses some very, very, very good question about the banking things. And so for the people, okay, for the people that are aware of what's going on in in the banking system, for sure, for sure. Like me, I'm aware that three banks went under, are going have gone under. I am aware that the Wall Street banks are trying to bail these other banks out. And the thing is, I think, now this is what I think about this. I think they're trying to do it. Those banks are trying to do it for this reason, and that is that when you look at the state of the government, they don't trust the government that is there right now. Okay. Everybody can see that you understand this. For those who are listening under the sound of my voice, I want y'all to understand that, all right, we're not just talking about who's president. I'm never just talking about who's president. I'm talking about all the wicked suckers that support that mess. All right. And herein lies the problem. All right. Herein lies the problem. You got some really effed up dudes and females, but mainly you got a lot of effed up dudes that's supporting the stuff that is going on in this government. Part of the reason that I decided to put this particular and use this as a topic is somebody I ran across here from the US, right? And to really understand how effed up the US is, I mean, just how really effed up the US is, I came down here, right? I met somebody, and it was a person that didn't want new information. All right. Um, they didn't want, when they were bothered that I had information. Okay. They were bothered by this, right? And at the end of the day, I was like, how are you bothered when somebody wants to show you what's really been going on under your nose? And that is because it was a dude too. It was a dude too from the US. And the sorriest thing about all of this is they were angry that I knew stuff. They would ask me a question. I mean, literally ask me a question, and I would say, well, or and get ready to speak, and the dude would immediately cut me off. The dude had a problem with me helping children in the favelas. Y'all, I am not lying about. I was sitting there like you, man, and I was thinking like this would be a person that I was kind of tempted. Like he would have, um, out of politeness, I just sat there and stuff and tried to, cause it was just a bad look. It was just a bad look on his part, right? And it helped me to see how really effed up that people are in the United States. I mean, to just another level of effed up. All right. So, so with that said, I wanted to start off with these banks, right? A crypto dynasty. If you can pop back in real quick, all right, so that we can have this start off with the bank. Let me greet everybody real quick because I haven't done that in a while on the live show. Geboren Hardugu dog Ola Oi to the bank versus Los Poncho Mezumi, Kedabao ni Kwinichiwa, Niha ni Ama, Sani Bonani, John Bohabrayagani, Assalamu alaikum, and Shalom. All right, so we're going to start with Crypto Dynasty. Hey, pop back in, Rod. All right. Hey, pop back in and let this be known. Hey, what's up, your boy, one loyal king. Hey, simplify USMC vet. All right, and so, oh, hold on. Hey, come back in, Crypto Dynasty. I don't think the Fed somehow. I don't know how Wall Street is going to bail this bank out, and so there's three of them. All right. So a couple other things in the news, right? Y'all know that YouTube is giving Trump his accounts back. I want y'all to understand something. YouTube is giving Trump his account back. They won't give me any of my accounts back, but YouTube is giving Trump his accounts back. Let that sink in. I think that a lot of people done fed into this party thing so long, and now they're when these banks are failing, they are finally starting to get scared. Hey, Crypto Dynasty. Hold on, let me. Hold on for a second, y'all. What happened to you? All right. All right. And so this is basically it. Now, there's some things that I noticed here in the DR, right? Um, and so I'm going to give you the first. One of the things I really like about this place is I am really, really, really in a relaxed state, right? So I came this apartment. If I was to come back here, I would come to this hotel that I'm at. All right, met the people, but after this trip, I don't think I'm ever coming back here. All right. Unless I just need to get away and just relax and not be bothered with anybody. Okay. And so basically, now with these banking crises, all right, hold on, let me call this dude back. With the banking crisis, all right, one of the things that hold on, Dude, what happened to you?
Yes. I was disconnected two times, so I went to the chat and Crypto Dynasty and sending message.
You were disconnected. You weren't disconnected. You were. Oh, you fell out. It fell out.
Yes, I tried to get back to time. Then after I decided to go to the chat on my
All
other
right.
channel,
Well,
Crypto
try to come
Dynasty.
back in. Try to come back in so that we could deal with these questions.
Sure, sure, sure.
Okay. So and I want to have this conversation, and this is what I kept telling y'all. The more
What's up?
intelligent dudes, the passport brothers. Now let me say this: the passport brothers were aware of politics. Why? If we were aware of the politics of the country that we were in. Okay, because he's saying some stuff right here. All right. You weren't out. I just moved the screen to the whole screen. All right. So the passport bros, and one of the reasons why I put the radio show up, because it was done way back in the day, and I don't know why it's people would know, so that people would know
Hello? I cannot
Go
hear you.
ahead. Say so. This thing with the news as to what's going on, right? You was talking about China bricks. So start with add to the mix. Start with
Speak.
your comment about add to the mix. Go ahead.
Okay, so I wrote a few things on the chat, and what people don't understand right now, it seems to have a financial collapse with the bank, and we see the Fed or the FDC try to bail out a few banks, and
Mm-hmm.
probably the contagion will spread out. And at the same time, we see, Russia and China launch a new currency last 2 3
Oh
months.
yes.
That currency is
Mm-hmm.
based on commodities such as gold and silver and so on. And just if you know China, Russia, and we know Africa have a lot of mineral in their ground, and that's another reason why some country want to go to war with those countries because they have resources, they have gas, oil, mineral, and they are launching a new currency based on a lot of commodity. And furthermore, we know also the brick is growing right now. Now, I heard last week Mexico tried to join the BRICS after Saudi Arabia. So that's not a good look for the US and NATO hegemony. So they're losing their
Mm-hmm.
power. That's why they want to go to the war and to provoke different country, but they have uh, the mainstream media lying for them and pushing false narrative and
Right.
propaganda. So furthermore, now we have probably another bailout that would trigger more inflation. We know in a lot of country people can barely eat; they have to go to food store to eat, so the inflation will rise up. And of course, Mr. Paul will also it will also raise the interest rate, and that will create more layoff,
Uh-huh.
more.
Hey, look at hold it. What do you think about? All right, so let's talk about this. All right, so USMC Vet came up with this. Credit Suisse is backed by
Yes,
Switzerland, right?
yes.
Uh, the Swiss banks have always been reliable. That is until recently. So everybody that aligned with the United States looks like they're being punished. And I would say this is type of a spiritual punishment.
Hmm.
It's a cascade into hell because a lot of the people appointed to these positions, um, Lord, when we talk about this feminist movement and how effed up things is, the feminist movement really messed. things up in a way that I don't think people really realize, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that is because um, it allowed women. There was this book on how to destroy men.
Mm-hmm.
A woman psychologist, a psychologist wrote this book, How to Destroy Men. All right, and and it's basically what I see here in the DR. And so, and as we get into this, we'll discuss why my preferences are now heavily leaned towards the Philippines and Colombia for those that want to find wife material. Dudes can go anywhere and get tail, right? Dudes can go anywhere and get tail, all right.
Mm-hmm.
But the mentality behind the power that's destroying everything, all right, is the crooked people. And so when he says this looks like everybody that's aligned with the US, their currencies are not doing as well as they were doing, let's say as it was doing under Trump.
Okay, let me add something to what you say. Okay, example. So I don't know if people is following what's going on with Europe right now. They have our retirement. They try to raise the age to retirement to 62 to 64. The France doing that because they are desperate. Because right now a lot of African country are kick up France
Kicking
from
France.
their country. Yes, and now Russia and China are going to those countries, making business deal with them, and they helping those countries. They building bridge and so on, and they are
Mhm.
kicking France. So France have problem. I don't need to talk about UK and United States. All the NATO group, the G7 is falling right now. So
Mhm.
what you talk about feminists is true, but it's worse than that because when you look what's going on with Russia and China, by example, or other country, they, first of all, they respect the family unit. They understand is there divine order between
Right.
man and woman, and they are pushing for STEM. They are pushing for people to be good in math and for
Right.
also for to be able to defend yourself, to do your and the West they try to using time to know which pronoun you're supposed to use. That's no
Right.
sense.
All right, but
So
here's the thing. So let's break this down. Let me break something down for you. First of all, my brother here is from Canada. All right, and he's been living in Brazil as well, and I see him from time to time when I'm down there. Right now, with that said, the other thing that you have is the brothers are getting the headlines for leaving, but the other problem is the men, the righteous men, the men that understand what a man is, the men that understand what a woman is, the men that can define a woman, all right, the men that understand the value of family or having children, the men that don't mind taking care of children, those dudes are leaving with their money. They are leaving the West. They are leaving the West. All right. And so when we talking about these things falling, another thing that the United States is doing is a lot of dudes is trying they're trying to give up their citizenship, especially a lot of the rich people. They're trying to give up their
yes,
citizenship, and the United States is trying to make it difficult, right, by slowing down the process. But there is the floodgates open for dudes trying to get rid of their citizenship. Never before in the history of the United States did so many people, who not because of marriage, I want to be in the land of my spouse. No, there are so many people that see that the country is so effed up, especially under the not only under the president. Because here's the thing: the president that's in there and the things that the politicians are allowed to do is a reflection of the people in mass that allows them to do it. So this is why I bring up the feminists. The feminist has totally taken over the culture of America, and America is being destroyed from the inside out, like every other militaristic civilization that had a grip on the world, like the Romans, the Greek. They failed from the inside out, and then people that would. So I'm gonna tell you what I think is happening. Right? You got the brothers that, the passport bros that know the leaf. So the passport bros are different from the content creators, and they're different from the other type of dudes that we're going to get into in the second half of this. Is because the other type of dudes and the content creators are the very people that really are going to these places and effing things up. All right. And so for the brothers who want good relationships, if you can go to the right spot and if you can get far enough away from these dudes that are traveling. So the Dominican Republic is not far enough away from these dudes that is effing up the Dominican Republic. And I'll tell you how they're doing it, right? And so basically, these dudes are our biggest enemies, adversaries on a spiritual level. All right. And so, and I don't say this lightly. So when you look at this stuff, and this stuff isn't on purpose, in that it is on purpose. All right. Meaning that the things and the wheels that and the cogs that the Bilderbergers and all these groups put in place, it was on purpose, but they thought it would benefit them. They thought that it would have a kind of outcome. But we was talking about this a while back, that a lot of time wicked people have an evil plan, but it always comes apart because what happens is enough good people start standing against the plan. All right. And by good, I mean people that was like, okay, these are lines that's being crossed that no, that should not be crossed.
But
Right.
what you say, it's true, Nabi. But let me add something else. I'm
Hmm.
sure you know the Chinese general Sun Tzu. He
Hmm.
say when you have adversary or enemy, you
Hmm.
don't need to fight with them. You just don't engage and give your resource. Now we see when you talk about feminists, a
Sun
lot
Tzu
of
said,
lady suffering
what Sun
of
Tzu,
depression and things like that because a lot
hold
of
on,
them
let
don't
me let
engage.
me hold it, let me correct that a little bit. When what Sun Tzu said is
Mhm.
when your enemy is making his own errors and defeating himself, you don't have to engage him. You just sit
Mhm.
around and you just wait for him to fall because it's going to be easy to access his resources. You don't need to help him. He's doing a good enough job all by
Yeah,
himself, and you don't have to expend your resources
yeah.
um, to. And this is what was happening is China in particular, because they play a very, very long game. China in particular see the fall of the West along with the Soviets, and both of them have things that you would need in a modern society, right? And people always think that the war
I have no sons.
and
Hello, I think I lost you.
all right, look like I'm back. Sorry.
Yeah, that's okay.
Um, that was I don't know because I got a strong signal. But when you look at these things, right, it's going to be a finance thing. And it's not
Mhm.
going to be a war in a traditional sense that we're talking. We're seeing it now. We see that the war is civil, and the United States and the West, they're eating themselves from the inside out,
Yeah, yeah,
like
yeah.
like a virus, right? And so the finances is not no longer sound. But then now we talk about
Hello?
ideology, hold on. Hey, if it goes out, just add your point if I disappear, because
Okay.
that's them messing with my end of the channel.
Too
Okay.
much knowledge. Too much.
Okay. So when we talk about the culture, right? When we start having a culture where our children become the prey
So
of
let
the
me go
people
more.
that's pushing this agenda, then everything falls apart. Starting with the finances, one for one reason is that what these people do is they put unethical people in charge of things that they don't know how to be in charge of, like
Yeah,
the
true.
railway act things and stuff like that. That dude, Buttigieg, has no business being in charge of the railway system, right? But he is. All right. And so when you have this, right, when you have this level of incompetence, right, China and Russia don't have to do anything. We will lose the next war if this dude, with this culture, with the culture that we have in the United States, we'll lose the next war because nobody will need to fight us on a battlefield. All right.
One more thing I want to add in an abbey, if I may. Uh, the worst thing that happened to the West, people are losing their confidence. They don't trust the system anymore, especially the media
Yes.
and the government. When you lose that, it's game over. It's a matter of months or year, because we saw what happened the last few years with the media, and
Hmm.
now some people start to waking up to the BS, but
Hmm.
they're too proud to admit some people were right, but they
Right.
see is there no sense. And the worst part is, uh, um, it's like you have scandal after scandal and scandal after scandal. You have crisis after crisis. You don't have a time to have a break. And also, I know a lot of ladies, even in my family or around, to have depression, to have anxiety, taking medication for that type of problem. And when that's the consequence of feminists, because the
Right.
men walked away. And one thing the ladies does not understand, we support the pressure more than the ladies, and we
Uh-huh.
have problem resolving skill they don't have, but they
Right.
used to count on the government. The government is overwhelmed right now, and they cannot help everyone. So
Well, I mean, and truth be told, not only do they not can they not help everyone, but with giving all this money to Ukraine, they can't help everyone.
sure.
All right, and they want criminals to pay taxes now. They put out a thing. We want the criminals to pay taxes. So anything that we want you to report, anything that you, I was, I mean, it's a joke. You want criminals. Hold on. They're called criminals. Look up the definition for criminals. Criminals are people that don't obey the laws, that do
Yeah,
nefarious things. And you think that they're going to want to, they do it out of greed. Criminals become criminals primarily out of greed. And so you think that they are going to what? Pay taxes?
yeah,
All right. And they say everybody see you giving, see the United States giving all of their tax dollars to Ukraine. You think people want to pay taxes to a government because the person that's in office, well, and you can't even really tell the truth. And so here's the thing: when you have media people like YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter, TikTok, and all that that was blocking all this information, when people were telling the truth and they was blocking it, all these people now are dying as a
yeah,
a result of being forced into a situation by the government, the media, medical professionals. No one trusts anybody
yes.
anymore in the
One more
United
thing.
States.
One thing I want to add to that, because I read on social media now, I believe more than 40 countries are asking for the contract, the agreement from the uh,
Caesar,
pharmaceutical, like
yeah,
Pfizer, and the government to see all the uh, the cause inside the contract because they know or it's
And
they are
Thailand,
crooked. Yes, it's a crooked. And one more thing,
Thailand, and
yes,
Thailand with their
exactly.
with is she? I wonder if she's still in a coma.
One more thing, regarding the financial, you
Hmm.
talk about the money they send to Ukraine. I talk also about the new bailout with the bank, but the debt ceiling is coming. So they are already squeezed by the debt ceiling now with Ukraine and the bailout. Is there for me? Is there no way they can make it? They can find a solution. And when that happen, a lot of country will sell the U.S. bond, and the inflation will get worse. It
Hmm.
seems people don't realize what's coming. It's like an avalanche of problems coming. People don't
I'm gonna
realize
tell you
what's
why
coming.
they don't realize what's coming. All right, because I keep telling brothers that we need to get passports and leave the United States, um, because what the feminist has caused is the utter collapse of whatever what right is, and behind that comes a punishment for said collapse, right?
Hmm.
So what happens is, now where do you go? And this is why all this stuff is important. As I was talking to this dude, so what happened is he came down here years ago, got with this Dominican. She's a beautiful woman too, but she's going to do and believe what he say because her English is not that good, and so it's the blind leading the blind,
Hmm.
right? And so I don't blame her. I blame him because he was one of them people. Oh, you this, that, and the other, and he sounded like a bee. Oh Lord! At no point did I ever think that he sounded like I was in a discussion with a black woman that didn't know a damn thing about nothing. All right, and I was like, man, this is pathetic. Our children have no future with these type of dudes, right?
Yeah.
That they would permit the government to do anything so long as it was somebody that they like, right? Which means that he supports a pedo. All right, he would support the pedo. Didn't want to know about anything. Didn't want to know about any of the evidence behind real criminal doings, behind or potential criminals doings behind the Democrats. Probably Biden. He didn't want to know nothing about it. He did not. He was. It's like he stick his hand in his ear. Da, 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 don't want to hear it. Don't want to hear it. But then don't talk to me about anything. And I mean anything. You're not worth the conversation about anything. So what do you think about the women of the DR? And when I said, hold on, let me say this. When he asked me this, what do you think about the women of the DR? And I said, I have no opinion yet because, you know, things take patience. He said, well, have you gotten involved with the culture? He said, oh, you don't want to be a part of the culture? And he said that because, well, I don't know where any of the bars are because I don't drink. And then he started trying to clown me because I didn't drink and ergo go to the bar. He said, you can go to the bar without drinking. I was like, why would I go to a bar without drinking? Right? I didn't come here to hook up with some floozies in bars and stuff and pay a bunch of women a bunch of money for an hour's worth of company, maybe two, maybe even over a night. Right? No, I didn't come here for that. I came here primarily to relax to see if it would be a place worth moving to. Right? And this dude, and so, but he's not the only one that had a problem with me not drinking. He's
Okay,
not.
I want you to think. Tell me when
What's
you're
up,
done.
Colombiana? Go ahead.
Okay, first of all, when you say they don't want to know, a lot of people,
Hold it,
and
hold it.
you're,
Let me say this. Let me finish that before you said it. Hold it. Here's the thing. My version of learning the culture was coming down here, chilling out with the people, um, and I was more involved with the culture than he was. And I was talking to my brother, and I was like, this dude didn't know a lick of Spanish, married to a Dominican, and he's been with her for a while. They have a child. He's been with her for some about 3 years, at least 3 years, right? At least, all right, maybe four, maybe longer than that, right? And you don't know a lick of Spanish. We're sitting there, and he couldn't tell the people that he wanted more soda pop, right? I could, but he couldn't. He's like, hey, tell him I need this, tell him I need that. And I
Hmm.
was like, dude, you don't know a lick of Spanish to even order food. I said, and the reason why that stuck out to me is he said, I didn't come down there for the culture. But see, I came down here and bothered to learn Spanish. I talked with the people at work. I brought stuff to the people at work. And everything that I did, he questioned everything that I did, right? Oh, you didn't do that. They don't do this for you. I was like, oh, you living inside my skin, right? And I was like, man, this dude is a bee. And I
Okay.
really wanted to fight. I really thought we was going to have to go to blows. I
Okay.
really thought this that it, and so, man, this is what I'm saying about. But this mentality is what's being exported by the left leaning, I'll say East Coast people that aren't leaving, they're more or less leaving to F up the game or F up
No.
things or to promote their thing. So they're promoting the poison that
Yeah.
is the United States into other cultures. And that's why anybody attached to the US, their currencies are failing and stuff like that. And Mexico is smart to get away and go
Well, to
join.
try to train bricks, to try to train bricks. What I want to add to that is to what you say. A lot of people don't want to learn or learn new
Mhm.
culture or learn the truth when you give it information. A lot of people are close-minded, and you bring information, you bring proof, you bring evidence. They don't care. They're
Mhm.
comfortable with the lie, like the movie Matrix. You remember the movie Matrix?
Yeah.
A lot of people this way. It's sad,
Yeah.
but that's reality. And the West, with the feminists, the last 40, 50 years, we have a lot of people. A lot of men have a female mindset. It's
Yes. Mm.
and the West we have it's a feeling base. Feeling base. Everything is feeling based. It's not about logic and
What's up, Coach? What's up,
accountability.
Captain Marvel?
Yes,
Mm-hmm.
so guy, it's not about logic and accountability. It's about the feeling. So
Feeling.
even
Yeah, yeah.
though when
And
you
and
bring logic and common sense, a
I
lot of
thought this dude
people,
was about to cry when I was telling him what the real news is. He's like, no, no, and this, that, and then that we had a discussion about Trump. He said Trump said bleach, and I say, and this is what the other thing that really pissed me off with people, right? Don't lie.
yes,
I heard Trump say bleach. I said, you didn't watch the speech, you're a liar. I didn't call him a liar because his wife then jumped in and tried to support him. Yeah, I heard it too. I heard Trump. So she was trying to support him, but he was lying.
but the
And I
worst
don't
part,
blame her. Hold on. And to the credit of the Dominicana woman, to her credit, she jumped in to support her husband against me. All right. But her husband was lying through his teeth. And then in and he lied because he said, I heard Trump say bleach. And I said, no, you didn't, because he didn't say it. He said, yes, he did. I said, Piers Morgan is the first one to bring up bleach in the sentence. And then Don Lemon ran with it in CNN. I said, but I have the speech. And y'all know I presented the whole speech on my channel that got
yeah,
taken down. And I still have the whole speech, right? But you can find the whole speech that he said because it's going around TikTok, or it was going around TikTok before they banned me from that. When I told people about what Susan Rice did to Snoop Dogg, and she did it publicly, right? And
but
so, why is TikTok caping for the Democrats? What kind of what's going on that they're blocking people from their thing for political statements that are true, all right, that are public. What is it? And so you got the whole fall of this. You have the whole fall of this society. But go ahead. What were you?
Uh, I forget what I'm gonna say. I don't remember exactly what I'm gonna say.
Okay,
Um, maybe
but
in a few minutes.
okay. So now let me get into this other part of this. The other part of this. Don't go anywhere. I'm just shooting this full screen. Okay, because I want to get into the other part of this. Um, and then after this, I will allow other people to come on. But I am going to kind of um, kind of have you aware of the things that I noticed. Okay, these are the things that I noticed here in the DR. All right, and I'm just going to say this.
Oh, I remember what I'm gonna say.
Okay, go ahead. Say it real quick.
Okay, when we talk about feminists or simps that going to another country and bring the same BS to other country,
Right.
for me, I compare that to cancer. You have
Yeah.
different stage. We know in the West, and
Metastasize.
yes, I think the last phase is 4 or 5.
Yeah, it's four.
Okay, for when
Stage four. Stage
let
five, you're in the grave.
okay, let's say we 4.5, and and uh, and the other country is stage 1 or 2,
Right.
sometimes 3. But
But you could
the
cut it
difference,
out.
yes, the difference is they don't have the government to bail out all their fuckery or nonsense. And
Right.
furthermore, now, even though they want to um, export their nonsense feminism and their Sodom and Gomorrah, you understand what I say? Um, People see the West is in verge of collapse, so they're not going to take all their BS. And a lot of time we see a guy like Blinking try to say, "Oh, you have if you want to have some privilege from us or some agreement, well, you have to accept Sodom and Gomorrah." A country say we don't need that.
Right.
So they, they are on
But
verge of collapse, but they still, in their mind, they still are
they
arrogant.
think
They
they
believe,
think we're the greatest thing since
yes,
sliced bread.
they think they can lecture other country. Other country say we don't need that. We don't need you anyway.
Uh-huh.
We don't
So
need you
here's the
anyway.
thing.
So that's why when you say people going to other country, you're bringing their feminists and Sodom and Gomorrah, and that's a concern, of course. But for me, those things cannot really survive long term because they don't have the government to back up
Right.
like any other state, and also they still have for the most part patriarchal culture, and also people see that the West is on verge to collapse. So they see, because right now I sent you a link before, a link of a feminist woman. She probably around 65. She said when she was feminist back then for equality in the 80s, 70s, but now she said now new feminist is about to destroy men, to give privilege to women, and it's not working. It mess up everything. Even all feminists recognize feminists destroy this country.
It's
So
yeah. All
it's
right. So
really
let me
bad.
okay. So let me go on with this. With that said, all right. So let's talk about this culture here, right? And and this is what I'm starting to learn, right? As I'm running into things and stuff like that. So when you look on the map, right? When you look on the map, all right, this is a difficult place. If you're a spiritual brother, you can live here if you like me. Some of the time I prefer to be alone. A lot of the times now, because I just can't stand being around ignorant people that's ignorant because they decided that they didn't want to know the truth. They picked a side and they stayed on that side, whether it be left or right, right? And they were never interested in the truth. They weren't interested in the community. with this dude had a problem with me bringing stuff for children. This dude had a problem with me going into the favelas to help out children. Why do you do that? Why are you risking yourself like that and doing all that? Right? Just because you don't stand for a damn thing don't mean I don't, right? And so, but this isn't the first time I ran across somebody that wasn't happy about me not drinking or something like that, right? And so it got to the point. So there's a lady here, the one of the main ones that cleaned my room. All right, and this is something I noticed. Like she has a family. She's married, and this, that, and the other, and we're cool, right? And she tells me, the married woman, she tells me, these women here, they're not good for you. All right. Now she knows what I do, and so some of the ladies that work here, like wonder why do I share? I was like in Brazil, which I was like this always, but this is why I felt so at home in Brazil in the favelas. I told y'all stories. Some of the times y'all seen it when I'll go in and basically just buying two liters of like soda pop in the middle of the day and just sitting down. We all just everybody go get cups out of the house and we all just share it, right? We share everything. That mentality does not exist here. So that's one of the things I don't like about. I like the serenity of where I live. It's a beautiful place. The air is clean. I
Mm-hmm.
like going to the market and getting some food. But if you say that, man, other people have potential for you to meet somebody, have a successful relationship, maybe have some children, but this place is good only if you want to be alone the rest of your life. Then it's not a good bet for somebody who believes that the first commandment that the Most High gave to us was be fruitful and multiply. All right.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's the one thing, right? The other thing is what I started to be aware of is a lot of this East Coast, a lot of these East Coast Democrats, and I'm gonna just call it the way I see it. A lot of East Coast Democrats are the ones that's traveling, but they're not traveling to leave. They're traveling to come down here, have their little fun, do the Super Bowl thing, and so me and the brother was looking at this, right? We were looking at this. Could have been who was it? Oh, Rasan, right? So myself and Rasan was looking at this, right? And we noticed something. Um, what we notice is how much it costs if you're in New York. Remember, New York effed up New York. The New Yorkers effed up New York.
That's why they are going to Texas now.
No, California is going to Texas, but New York, there's a lot of New Yorkers that come here to the DR. And so the
Okay.
DR has become like New York. They don't, hold on.
Okay, but what you mean exactly? Because when I was in
I'm about
Brazil,
to explain it. I'm about to
okay, go ahead.
explain it. Hold on. Hold on. Oh, all right.
Okay,
Hey.
if
Hold
I
on,
may
hold on,
have,
hold on, hold
okay.
on. Okay, got it. Okay. I'm just letting a couple of brothers know I'm on here. Um, and
I want to just say something quickly, okay?
uh,
Um, when I was in Brazil, and even when I visit Mexico, when the people that mess up the culture and are going to doing a bad thing or just to have fun, usually they stay in the resort and tourist location. and the woman for the most part he deal with that not the wife or girlfriend material for the most part. But when you go outside and you mix with the people, I'm not saying everyone you meet is the greatest person, but it's much better, especially if they don't speak English or they speak a
Mm-hmm.
little bit of English. So I know some member of some friend or some of my friend went to DR. They say when you go into a spot, we see all the mess, but when you go outside, you go 2 hours, 3 hours, is
Mm-hmm.
different. And most people that go there, they don't have the right mindset. They don't go for the right reason. They stay on the tourist spot or the resort, and they're doing their BS. So that's something to think about. If someone decides to go to DR, Colombia, whatever,
The problem
Panama,
is time.
yes, it's time. But if
But
if you want to integrate to the culture and you want to
I
see
say that the
something more
problem is
authentic, more balanced, you have to go outside the tourist spot. That's my
no,
only
no, no, no,
advice I give
no.
to people.
This isn't what I'm saying. When I say that the problem is time,
Yes.
is I'm talking about the period of time. All right.
Yeah.
And so what I mean by this is this that um, what was happening is that in this period of time, right? When time passes on,
Mm-hmm.
you have these dudes leaving New York, coming here,
Mm-hmm.
and they start the corruption starts to from them starts to spread
Yeah.
like a cancer
True.
from being in one place, and then it starts to metastasize.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe not from them, but they have infected some of the people that live into some of the outskirts,
Mm-hmm.
right? And
Yeah.
that's what I'm saying. And
I agree. I
so,
agree. I agree. I
um,
understand what you say. I agree. I agree. I agree.
right?
But
And that's what I'm seeing. That's what I'm seeing.
okay,
Um,
no, I got you. I got you. But like I say, if you want to find decent people, good people, you cannot expect to go to the resort to find good people for the most part because it's already met. What's the word?
metastasized.
Metastasized. Okay, and the resort is already metastasized. On the rest of the country, 2 3 hours. I mean, it's not really spread. That's my point.
Uh-huh. Yeah, but here's the thing. The problem is that this is an island. And
Yeah,
so it's different from Brazil.
yeah, yeah. True, true. It's small. It's small.
Yeah, it's an island. And therein lies the problem here.
Yeah, yeah, true. And also,
And,
also, it's easy for them to return. In it's close.
right.
But if you
And
go to Brazil, it's
it's
eight
easy
ten
for
hours
stuff to
flight.
spread. Right.
It's easy for them to return.
Hold on for a second. And it's easy. The spread is easier.
Yeah, I got you. Yeah, I got you. Yeah, I got you.
All right, the spread is easier because it's an island. Um,
It's close.
yeah,
It's pretty.
it's a closed off space.
Yeah.
Um, let's see. It's an island with a closed off space. Hey, what's up, Roger Spice? And what's up, K Dot? Hey, what's going on, Daniel? Okay. Um, let's see, what else?
But I have a mindset when you go place where everybody like to go. It's very popular. A lot of time, it's you know what's the word pioneer. You're not the pioneer or the first wave.
Uh-huh.
You're the 10 wave.
Pioneer.
Yes, if you're not a pioneer or amongst the first wave, a lot of times when you arrive, let's say you're after six wave, it's too late. It's already corrupt. It's
Right.
being a
And so
report.
yeah, yeah. And so basically now, and this holds true, all right. This holds true, but then there's another thing here. All right. The other thing is this, that hold on for a second.
But
The other
I think
thing is this.
another problem is
I'm trying to send this to Zimmerlu.
I think another
But
problem too, the DR receive a lot of television from the West. They are, even though they speak Spanish, they receive a lot of program from United States and Canada. So that also mess up their mind, because if the children are watching a lot of program.
the mentality that we have here, that um, it is such that the it's the New York, it's straight up the New York mentality.
Yeah,
Okay, and that's what we have here, and because of it, right? Because of it, a lot of um, have taken on that thing where it's all of they're chasing the bag. It's the bag. It's the bag. It's the bag. This is a bag. Get the bag culture, right? And so when you get to somebody that's in this get the bag culture, all right, then what generally happens is while they're chasing the bag, they miss out on good men
yes,
that's not
that's
going.
I agree.
They miss out on a bunch of a lot of good men um, that would have
Because
brought more than the bag, and their community suffers as a result of that
they have a transactional mindset.
mindset, right? And so
Yeah,
they're here only if people come here and stay a bit, and a lot of them aren't doing too well off of that type of lifestyle. The
yeah,
Dominican Republic could have been the first place that could have been wives to a lot of brothers, but they didn't want it that way. Now, here's the other thing. Let's talk about the future of the Afro children. In this mentality, no one gives a damn about the children, right?
yeah.
This is why the dude had a problem with me donating part of my income to children. He literally had a problem with it, right? And I was like, dude, you are really effed up in the head. All right. And so his wife was more reasonable than him, but he was effed up in the head. This dude had a problem with every single thing that I did. Everything that I am, everything that I did, my choices for coming down here just to relax,
But
to not run out.
he had a female mindset.
Yeah, he did. And to not run out, run around the community looking to spend all my money on temporary booty. All right, that's what I call it. And no, I'm not down for that, right? And so I start thinking that a lot of the children and things here are going to suffer as a result of it because it is an island. They're going to have good tourists here, but they're not going to have good men that want to stay. They're going to have dudes that have game, and it is a place of simp culture. I mean, simps come here. I mean, simps really come here. All right. The other thing is that the real history, right? The I talked with the lady that works here, and she's like, "Oh, you need to go see this," and she's the one that told me where this place was, right? And
Hmm.
so I was like, "Okay, cool. I'll go check it out," and so I did, right? And and the thing is that, yeah, I see this and I see that this was where Columbus landed first. Say he discovered it, but Afro people, and you can see in his diaries, was already here. When
Yeah,
you
true.
look at the DR is primarily Afro. Only
True.
a scant minority are Caucasian. Guess who runs the government? They convinced the Afro people here to not even vote for people that are their own interests. Now, when
Hold
we
on a
talk,
second. Hold on a second. I know in DR, I heard a lot of people believe they're white.
dude, hold on. Take a look at all these children. You see nothing but Afro children here.
I know about that.
Okay, brothers, I'm just saying, take a look at this. You see nothing but Afro children in this picture. When in all the schools that let out, in all the schools. So, in order to have children, a bunch of children in the DR who are Dominican that look like me, and you don't like the Haitians, then that means they mom and dad look like me too. All right. And so when I say this is
Hello? No sound.
all right, this is the pride of the Colombian women. So going back to Colombia and Brazil was the fact that that's the kind of women that when I say sisters like me in Colombia, that's what they look like, right? But in the DR, then in the DR, these are what this is what the guys are shouting out. When you look at what the dudes like about the DR, and you look at I'm walking down this and these females are just like this, that, and the other. Da, 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 da. All right. They don't look like the Colombians, they don't look like the Brazilians, but they do look like American women, right? The difference is that they are still feminine in their look, and that's the difference. The difference is that they are still feminine in their look. But when you talk with these dudes, when you look at the dudes that come down here, and you look at any picture from Sosua, you'll see the same type of pictures, right? And so I start thinking this is a thirst culture, simp culture, right? That these dudes come down here, the content creators, everything. And so I could see, no, I couldn't see. So there's a reason why these dudes had a problem. This dude have a problem that I didn't come down here to drink and throw all my money away on women, right? And here's the thing. There's another reason that you will find that I don't throw a lot of money away on women. And that is because I care about something that to me is more important than women. For real, for real. All right. Now I will put down photos of what I think beautiful women are. You see what I mean? And I'll do that for y'all. Oh, y'all know I'll do it, right? Won't he do it? Yes, I will, right? But the thing is, when we are looking here, all right, when we're looking here and we're getting into this stuff, right? And you look at this, what I am seeing here is a straight up simp thirst culture. Dudes that made bad choices in females, and instead of helping brothers help a community somewhere else, they're coming down here and giving some of these women all their money. All right, asking for money. Dudes are they're throwing so much money at women who's wasting it in it's ridiculous, right? And um, and then they get mad. I think one of the things is they get mad when you don't want to be a part of that culture. I want to be a part of the Dominican culture, right? But then I'm finding out you got two diverse cultures, right? You
Hmm.
got the culture of the woman I met in the bank, the women I met at the stores, and so there is a diverse culture. It's a chasm between all the women that work, right? There's a
Hmm.
chasm between all the women that work and the women that don't. And really, hey, what's up, Daniel? Hey, what's up, Roger? When you come down here, if you come down here looking for like wife material, you can find it. I'm saying it'll be easier to find it in the United States, but Colombia, Brazil, the Philippines, everywhere else will be easier than here, because the first thing that happens is they don't take you seriously if you're a serious person. And that's because they really haven't seen it, right? And so now we talk about um, the dudes, these guys, and this is, if you go back and listen to the radio show, right? This was one of the problems that me and Charles I was seeing, but Charles Tyler was actually dealing with a lot of the dudes that was coming to Brazil to come on the beaches. Everybody wants to go to the favela, not to see it, not to help, but to say they were there,
Yeah,
right?
true,
Not to build
true.
up a brotherhood, not to build up a brotherhood, just to say, yeah, I was in the favela. It was the most dangerous thing and stuff like that. And really, if you're not doing nefarious things, they're not really that dangerous. They're a little scary for some people because they are kind of, they get to the tooth. Okay. Um, and so what's happening? And this dude, I'm gonna say this too when you bring this up. And so this came up in the he was like, "Oh, Brazil, where that Trump like," and I was like, "Dude, you don't know what's going on." I was like, Brazil is protesting the election. Oh, you did it, and you just said you never spent a day in Brazil, and I was
Yes,
just sitting through
they, they had a lot of process.
protest.
Uh,
Hold it, I said this. I said, dude, it's bad because Brazilians were protesting during the World Cup. All right, the World Cup couldn't even shut them up. All right, and Brazil was doing well. And he said, "Oh, you just this, that, and the other." And I was like, "You, ooh, man, this dude was ignorant. He was mean to the servers in the restaurant. He didn't tip them. He put them through a whole bunch of hell and didn't tip them. He was yelling at them. And I was like, dude, you just disgusting.
you know what?
And
One
so
day,
go ahead.
one day, it's okay. It seems this year. I understand. When you read the Bible, you read the story of Noah, right?
Right?
And I believe for 100 years he was building the ark. But I believe the last few years he didn't care anymore because he realized
Yeah, just
people
terrible.
don't want to know the truth. That's one part. And also when you read the story of Lot's wife, a lot of people love this system. They love the dysfunction, even though you try to explain to them that make no sense. All the benefit if you change, people love the dysfunction. When you read the story of the Lot's wife, she turned around because her heart wasn't on the
She
seed,
was missing
and
the defense, yeah, dysfunction.
yes, she loved her status and material possession. And when you remember the Noah story, at the end he
Hmm.
didn't care before the flood because he tried to warn people for a long time. And sometimes I feel I'm the same way now I don't really care to try to warn
Yeah, I
people, even
mean,
though when
you're like,
I
I'm
talk to
wasting my
people, I
breath.
show things, they don't care.
You're like, I'm wasting my breath.
Yes, you're seeing your breath, and you have this discussion with the gentleman, but next time you see someone with the same mindset, you would just walk and don't care because you see they don't want to know the truth. And when the SHTF happened, they will ask you for your help, right?
Right. Anybody want to join the panel now? It's open. And so basically, and this is my problem, right? And so basically, and you see it. Um, uh, I've seen classy women here, but you don't see them photographed. And so what you see is people here, and what you get is you get people that come here that want to be content. Everybody's about making money, and that was something. The last thing he tried to cut me up for was like how YouTube banned my channels. He said you don't pay attention to the guidelines. I said they consistently change the guidelines, and they don't use their guidelines to ban people, right? If anything is political and stuff like that, that's what they were doing, like they did for the vax, right? And so he said, "No, you don't pay attention to the guideline." I said, "Really? I don't really care that much about money." And then his wife's like, "Oh, I do whatever they tell me to do because I want them to pay me." There it is. I do whatever they tell me to do because the only thing I'm interested in is money, not the future of their children, not any of that is money. And then this is the culture here, right? It's the culture of getting the bag, all right, by hook or by crook. And then you see a lot of women that sit there and they try to promote content. Oh, we can come together, but when you look at their behavior, they're really not interested in coming together. All right, they're only interested in the bag, and you hear this all the time, brothers. It's about the bag. Did you get the bag? The bag this, the bag that, the bag the other. And I honestly believe this, that the reason why a lot of women are making content, talking, trying to say, okay, we're going to talk to the women now. It is because not because they want to help the situation. They're doing it because they see money in it. They see that they will get some male viewers and some female viewers. They see cha-ching, cha-ching. And that's really what's going on here. When you look at, because if these women really have had morality, okay, it, if they, then this wouldn't be a problem, right? And so, how are they going to fix something that they broke when they fixed it by breaking themselves? All right, and let me explain it this way. All right, these women say, "Oh, I want wife material. I want husband material. This, that, and the other." They want a traditional man, but they're not traditional women, right? That's been pointed out. All right, but then here's the thing: what they don't really think about is to want a husband, a man of God. This woman said she wanted a man of God, right? How do you work that? How you want that and you're not a virgin? She want to be married to a man of God, right? How can you want that and you're not a virgin? All right. And so, and this is the other problem
And
that a
Nabi,
lot, huh?
do you remember when Kevin Samuel was there and he made one show, and the show was the Christian feminists? And is there a lot of Christian feminists, even a Christian
That
Hebrew
don't even
feminist too?
make sense. Think
Huh?
about it. That don't even think about how much sense that don't make. A
No,
Christian feminist.
yes, but he pointed out the contradiction because you're supposed to respect the divine order between man and woman. And
Mm,
a lot of female raised in the West have feminist viewpoint and mindset. They understand man is the leader. Also, when they want to deflect this, all the pastors say that's another thing. That's another trick you're using because
mhm.
you understand a lot of ladies. Oh, I want a man of God, traditional man, but they're not traditional women. They don't
Right.
follow respect the scripture, and they all are they remain on the New Testament. They don't go to the Old Testament with the law and everything. Even though
Right.
one time my mom asked me, I said, "Why you don't eat shrimp or pork?" I said, when you read Leviticus, and all the laws there. And my mom asked me for the law. I gave the law in French because I speak French. I sent, and she, then 1 week after, I said, "Did you read the law I sent to you?" She did not bother to
To
talk
read it.
about it
No, they
again.
never do.
El- because they don't
That was
care about the law.
that
They
was
don't care.
hold on. Let me say this. Let me say this, brothers. That was my problem with Mimi. That right there, where he just said, right there. All right, we couldn't get along is because um, the things that I asked her to read so that she can get an understanding, she just refused to read because she was stuck in her New Testament. They want the New Testament with Psalms and Proverbs, and that's it. And they rarely don't read
The mic's
Proverbs,
back on.
right?
Mhm.
They want Psalms and that's they want the Gideon, the New Testament plus Psalms and Proverbs. Like everything else don't exist, right? And
Mhm.
so no, you can't get along with them, right? And I will say this, right? When you don't drink, when you ain't about mess, right? And you come down to the DR, it's going to be difficult to find somebody. And the women here, the women that are married, they'll be the first ones to tell you, right? They'll be the first ones to tell you when I first got here. Um, and they started to figure me out, right? And I told them it's a spiritual thing, this, that, and the other. When I offered the soccer balls to the family, they thought I was trying to sell it. I said, I'm not trying to sell anything. I didn't come. And I was like, so y'all are so used to a hustle culture coming from the US that when somebody comes with an open heart to you,
Yeah.
y- y'all don't even know what it looked like. Um, What's up, Taichi 29? All right, y'all don't even know what it looks like, right? And that's the real of it. These people don't know what a real brother look like because they not seen it. Go ahead.
Or sometime they reject those brother. They put in a friend zone for a long time.
Well, here's the
That's
thing. The friend zone usually don't work because most people are down here for like 2 weeks and they're gone.
no,
So
no.
if they don't
I mean in the West. I mean the West.
Oh yeah, like here a lot of women will a lot of women, especially on dating sites, will get at you to try to see what they can get out of you.
Hmm.
Okay, so they get at you to try to see what they can get out of you. All right, and so
But
one of
but
the things is if they figure out they can't, if they figure they can't get not too much out of you, then they're out.
but Nabi, one thing I need to say: a lot of those lady have a rotation of men. They have maybe 10. They talk with 10 men
Oh yeah.
and different websites. If one is the same
Oh
and
yeah,
give
we
him
know
money, if they have two or three. So if they have two, three sim that sending money, then money for that. And when you go there, you stay 1 week. You will give your girlfriend expense for 1 week. Then when you leave, they swap with another guy. So, like I say, if
right.
you
Is
stay
it like I
and
said?
the
Because
resort and the resort, that's you have this experience.
right. Hold on. Oh, there was another experience I had earlier today too. Okay. So one of the things is the B Dubs, especially in these conservative places, have created such a simp culture, right? That um, when they come here, they give all their money away and go back broke. Like the dude that's down here. He's not the only one. He just made the news because he didn't save enough to get back to where he came from. Right. Um, and a lot of these content creators is the same thing. And so I am missing Colombia. I am missing Brazil. I'm really missing these two places as far as the people. Now, I I said this. My relationship with the people I met here in the hotel is cool. I met a brother here from the community, cool. But these females, man, let me tell you, um, there's this female that gave me her number, right? And I was kind of talking to her, but I asked this question. I like, do you have a man? All right. And generally they ask, they was like, no, 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 I'm solo. And then some of them like, oh, we're separated. Then I don't deal with them. Right. So I had a few women that I was talking to, and we didn't get together on that kind of thing. Right. So here comes the other thing. So um I get a comment on WhatsApp, right? And I get a comment on WhatsApp. Oh, it was like, Kenneth, who is this? Right. And I was like, you know, I was like I went off. I was like, so you gave me your number, this, that, and the other, but bada boom, bada bing, and you didn't even bother to check when we accept my name is this, that, and the other, bada bada da 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 da. All right. Well, what had happened was, all right, it was her dude that was calling me, right? This is why I asked, are you single? And but before he called me and before we had a conversation, he said, send me a screenshot so I can remember who you are. And so I sent it. And I said, see, you gave me your number. So then I gave you mine and this, that, and the other and stuff. And I was under the impression you told me you were single and this, that. And then a dude, he sent me a voice. He said, dude, no, she got a man. I'm her man, this, that, and the other. And I was like, oh, really? And so, but he had mad respect for me because he could see in the thing that I ain't trying to mess with nobody that has a man. And then he was surprised at my definition of somebody that has a man. It ain't about paper. It's like, do you have a man? Because I consider that your husband, right? And he was like, but he ended up respecting me for it, right? I said I don't mess with other men's women. And that's the mentality that we need to have. The women are really effed up because you get a lot of these thirsty, jacked up dudes that will sleep with another man's woman, but won't like it if it's them, right? Here's the thing: the Most High did not intend for us to be monogamous, and that ain't a hill. That's just what it is. Men are not supposed to be monogamous, but we ain't supposed to mess with another man's woman. Period. I don't care whether you call it girlfriend. She ain't got no paper, or I can get away with it. These dudes are so right? And that's the problem. The single mom, the single BAW in the United States have raised a bunch of unprincipled dudes that have no male moral code because they weren't raised by men. They have no male moral code because they weren't raised by even me. I could have fell into that trap. All right, you back up, bro. All right, I could have fell into that trap, but there were men in the community. I did. Well, I'm here now. But if you want to join the stream, so it's open. If y'all want to join the panel. All right. So basically, so what happened is that a lot of the y'all, I'm forgetting. Um, Let me pause real quick and say this. Don't forget to get those thumbs up, like, share, subscribe. When you subscribe, click the notification bell. If you care to donate to what I do in the communities, my donation link, I hope they are. No, they are. My donation link will be in the description box. All right, but before you donate, remember you take care of yourself and family first. Y'all know that rule. All right. So, with that said, okay. So, and so this is the thing. And so basically what we have here is a society of dudes that will sleep with any man's woman, even though we are outnumbered and they can sleep, they can find a single woman, right? The thing is you got more now the truth is really starting to come out that women cheat way more than men if you say cheat. But let's go by the regular name that the Bible call it. Women commit adultery way more than men. The men just happen to be more honest about it. We know this because you have a lot more women that have babies. You have more women that have all these women that have babies where the dude that they said was the father wasn't. And then when you look at it, they have to go down 3, 4 strings of dudes before if they find out who the father is, before they can find out who the father is. All right. So they've always been more disloyal to the man. If
But
they're
Nabi,
disloyal, it's different. Okay, go ahead.
Nabi, you remember I told you about the story of Lot wife? She
Mm-hmm.
turned around because she loved her status and possession and privilege. And while Sodom and Gomorrah is about to be destroyed, it's the same history repeat itself.
Right.
So
But let me say this though. Here's the thing. For us, all right, for us, all right, women, this is what adultery is. When a woman that belongs to one man gets involved in a relationship sexual with a man that is not the man she's involved with, she is guilty of adultery, and the man she's involved with is guilty of adultery. All right, but
and we
there's no
and we
man
know
code. Hold on, let me finish this. And what we do know is for a man, we can have multiple wives so long as we can take care of them. And so we can have multiple women, but women can't have multiple men because they can only have one child at a time where we can see multiple women. All right. When they do have the child, all right, and they are only with one man, then paternity and who that child belongs to is not in question. All right. But we got a bunch of women that sleep with a bunch of men, and then they look for the one that's making the most money, and then that's the one they want to put on child support. Right. And then only years later, when she mad, she said, "This ain't your damn baby anyway." You see that's how that goes, right? All right, and we're going to keep letting that slide. No, we need to start calling this stuff out because that's the other thing real men are supposed to do. We are supposed to judge these women, not have conversations, not see how we can fix these things. We can't fix it. All right, we are supposed to marry or take as wives virgins or widows.
oh
We can go ahead.
Nabi, since you're an expert on biology, when a woman have multiple sex partner, the sperms stay
The DNA,
merge at the mitochondria on the cell at the cellular level.
yeah. So here's the thing: the DNA, RNA don't go anywhere. All right, it stays in the uterine walls and stuff like that. All right, unless it depends on how they die, and it depends on how good of a job that the macrophages do when they come to um, eat all that stuff. So during this process, the sperm is under attack all the way up until they get to the egg by the woman's defenses. All right. with the starting with the pH all the way um, all the way down to the um, all the way down to the macrophages and stuff like that that comes to eat them up, right? And so what gets stuck in certain places is there, and that DNA is there after the cell itself die off. Because as you know, the sperm is a living sentient entity. All right,
And
it's
that
alive.
that mess up their mind too. Because of that, that mess up their mind.
All right. And so there's a phrase, and Roger Spice knew where I was going. It's called microchimerism. All right. Where that DNA is absorbed and now becomes a part of her. And when we talk about these spirits, that she gets the spirit of all the dudes that she slept with, then that's the thing. And men don't, there is no spiritual transfer from a woman to a man because we're not the receiver, we're the giver. The
Hmm.
only time there's a spiritual and negative one transfer is between the MSM, the men that engage with other men. All right, and that's in defiance of nature.
Hmm.
Okay, and so that's the spirit of Pookie. Yep. And so that's what it is. A mental OG. When I put up the thing, it is the end of the thing. Okay. Uh, so so with that said, um, when we're talking about these things, right? And microchimerism, um, yeah, all that, the whole spirit mental OG. Um,
But
uh,
Nabi,
that
Nabi, 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 hold on a second. Hold on a second. You see what you say. You're talking about science, biology, and the natural order, about the
uh-huh.
scripture and so on. That's where the feminists and the work nation would say you're sexist or misogynist. I don't know what in English, something like that. Misogynistic,
Misogynist, and that's where I
misogynist.
would
Yes,
tell them. That's when I would tell them to go to hell. I don't care
that's
what
what.
they.
That's why they ate the natural order and they ate science. That's why now
Right.
they can redefine what is a woman.
Yeah.
Or
What is a woman? What child is? And now you got this. She is a attorney general that took children to a drag show. Let that sink in. And you are saying that these women are protecting your children. Okay? Really? These women don't give a damn about children. They don't give a damn about anything anymore, not even their damn selves. All
like
right.
like I said before, that's why the the drug for mental illness like depression and anxiety, bipolarity is exploding. That's why.
Mm-hmm.
And they don't. That's also why they ate the passport, bro. Because the plantation bro that stay in the country and are criticize people that go overseas, whatever. They understand when people are leaving, they have to deal with those women with for support, emotional support, or for finance, and they don't want us to leave because
Mm-hmm.
even though when we don't, let's say we don't pay some bill for them, let's say you take some time to talk with them, you take all our emotion and all the nonsense on you, and that's why a lot of men don't like when men go overseas, go to Africa, go to Brazil and Colombia, because
Mm-hmm.
they understand they will need to deal with the woman emotion and also with their request for finance.
Now here's the thing. I want to show y'all this. All right, I want to show y'all this. Stop that one, and we're gonna pop this one in. This is the New York AG. Um, this is the New York AG. Hold on, but let me see. Hold on, let me see why it's not coming up. Okay, outrage. Okay, it might come up under Google. Hold on. So this is the New York AG. What's this? No. Yeah, this is it. Allow. Yes. Outrage. New York Attorney General Letitia Letitia James. This is the New York AG, and this is her.
You
This
know,
is her.
you know,
Understand the B dub, y'all. Understand the B dub, y'all. Understand the B dub.
that's why they love the New Testament. You can do everything. The Old Testament would take care of that.
Oh yeah, hell yeah, it would.
Even what's the word again? Adultery. You spoke before when you speak
Adultery,
with
yes.
yeah, when you sleep with a woman of another man,
Yeah.
a wife,
Oh
I
yeah,
mean.
that gets taken care of.
Yeah.
Toot sweet. Yeah, that get taken care of. But here we go. Our children have no protection, no allies. All right, because when these B dubs get put in these positions, all right, I want y'all to understand
They're working
when
for the
these
system.
they're working and they're working against Afro people. All right, they are working against Afro people. All right. So keep this in mind that and this the most high said this is why the most high says we are to judge these females. All right. We are to judge them. We ain't supposed to reconcile with these. All these women that supported the feminists and stuff like that. There is no reconciliation with them because this is what they brought about. You can't repent from this. I don't know how you repent from this. I don't know. Somebody tell me how does one repent from this? How do you repent from this? I don't know. All right, you went against Afro men and their seed for so long, and now you're allowing everybody's seed to be prey to this mentality. All right. I don't know. I don't know at all how you repent from this as women, as black women that stood up for abortion. All right. So you stood up for the extermination of our children. All right. You stood for that, right? You was like, yeah, we're down for the extermination of our children. All right. You were down for that. All right. And now anything that this system wants you to do in order to have power, all right, and you think you have power, and these women don't have power. The only thing they have the power to do is to destroy the Afro community. But they don't have any real power. If you really look at it, the people that have the real power dictates to them what they can and cannot do. So long as they're effing us up, that's cool. All right. But they like, oh, I got money. You don't have money. You don't have wealth. You have what they want you to have in order to destroy the community. So your only value to them, these females don't understand that their only value to these people is our destruction. And I mean the whole community. All right. Because they're like, yeah, I'm gonna get me a Caucasian man. And you could do that, right? That's not going to be a problem. But understand that the reason why you could do that is that when you get that Caucasian man, all right, when you get him, hold on. When you get that Caucasian man, what's going to happen is once we are destroyed, then you're destroyed. All right, and that's what these females don't understand. Once they destroy you, then they destroy. Once they destroy the Afro man, then they destroy everything. All right, and you running around, yeah, I got my own money. You don't got your own money. You got the money
Nabi,
that they let you have. And the condition for you to get that money was to destroy your own community. That's what you got. So you don't got your own money. All right. And so this is this woman. All right. And this is what this is what she's doing. And she is an attorney general. Understand this, y'all. She is an attorney general. She is the New York attorney general. All right. She is the New York attorney general. Now, mind you, she is the New York attorney general. And who did I say was coming to the DR spreading this kind of stuff? Who did I say was coming to the DR spreading this kind of mentality? These dudes from New York. And notice, I ain't biting my tongue on this. The New York AG. Think about that for a second. All right. But we got a Supreme Court judge, a black female Supreme Court judge that don't know what a woman is. And now you got this New York AG that's doing this stuff. Can you say promoting the Caucasian agenda to the T? And not the everyday people. We're talking about the people trying to run the world. All right. The only thing is the whole world is starting to wake up and see this wickedness that is coming out. And they are seeing that this is them. All right. This is them. All right. And so here's the thing. What do you do when the female of our species is really this messed up? All right. I mean, and I want y'all to really think about it. They support everything that is detrimental to our children. I want y'all to think about it. They support all these things that are detrimental to our children. All right, let that sink in. They support what's detrimental to our children because they don't give a damn. All right. And then you got all these dudes, you got these dudes getting mad at me because I'm calling this mess out because it's all one party that's doing this to this degree. All right. The Biden cronies and that one party that's doing this to this degree. And these soft-minded dudes want to get mad at me. All right. How you going to get mad at me? How you going to get mad at me and not get angry at what your children might be exposed to? All right. But herein lies the problem. Like me and the brother was saying. Me and his brother was saying that these females, they really don't care. They really don't care. They don't care about our children. They care about the position that they're in, that the Caucasians let them have, but they don't care about anything else. Everything else could go to hell in the handbasket as far as they are concerned, so long as they are able to maintain that position, because nothing is more important to them than that position. All right. And they'll put your children at risk. All right. I mean, think about it. They'll put your children at risk. It's sad. I don't even know what to say. All right. And these are the people that's coming to all these places like the DR. These are the type of dudes. The dudes that support this because they don't care and give a damn about the future of their children. They don't. All right, because they've been so brainwashed to support mess like this that when it comes down to it, they don't even support the future of their own children. And this is the problem I had with that brother at that restaurant. All right, this is the real problem I had with the brother at the restaurant. I was like, dude, you don't stand for nothing. He don't stand for not a damn thing. All right. And so how do we and these dudes are the ones that's fortunately he's not going to go all the way to the Philippines. See, and that's the thing. That's why we keep saying Colombia is a good spot. See, they went and effed up Medellin, Colombia. All right, these dudes went down there, messed up Medellin, right? And fortunately, um, okay, fortunately, all right, them messing up Medellin has caused them to rethink a lot of stuff. All right, them leaving Medellin caused them to rethink some stuff and reevaluate as well they should. All right, because Medellin ain't playing no more. Medellin is not playing anymore. No more are they playing. All right. And so this is where we're at. So you see all this stuff. All right, you see all this stuff, right? And this is the nature of what's going on. Hold on. This is the nature of what's going on in the community, right? The children have no defense. Um, YouTube keeps stuff hidden, all right, so that children have no defense, so that we can't point out who's doing what. All right, they use some erroneous stuff. Twitter look like they might have people's back again. All right, so that might be a thing. So hold on for a second. So Twitter, it looks like Twitter may have people's back. All right. So this is how bad it is. And so the dudes that keep putting that in office, it's a wonder they wonder why people don't come and throw money at these women and destroy their spirituality, right? And this is the problem. All right. The community, the community here is being effed up by a lot of these dudes. Hey, what's up, Afro Troop? A lot of these dudes um, coming down here and messing this stuff up. Yeah, submitted to the system, but the system gives her power to destroy. Hey, what's up, Dwayne? The system give her power to destroy. All right. Now, again, let me say this again. The link is in the thing. So anybody else want to jump on? Because I'm about to close this down. Okay, dude, right? And yeah, and so I start looking at the culture and stuff, and I start paying attention. And I used to have the highest respect from the brothers from New York until I really start looking at their impact on the family, their impact on who they keep choosing, all the hell that New York went through, and these people, lock stock, will keep choosing the same people. And now you got this an attorney general that's promoting this mess to children, right? And in case, uh-huh. Oh yeah, yeah, uh-huh. But see, here's the thing. So long as they get a little bit of power, right? So long as they get a little bit of power. Hold on, let me see if I put the link up. Okay. Oh yeah, so here's the link. The link is now in the screen for anybody else that want to pop on. All right. All right. And so basically, and this is, and if I didn't come here, I would not have experienced it. But this is why I say that if now it's a nice place to come to relax, right? If you want to go to the beach, go to Brazil, go to the Philippines, go to Thailand, go to Colombia. All right. If you want to chill in the city, I recommend Santo Domingo. Right? Chill. You're not looking for any females. Or if you find a woman, if you find a woman, um, and you want to bring her here, now I would recommend that because it is a nice chill spot. Um, it's a chill spot. The people um, that work are cool. The people that work are cool. The people that work on you are not. All right. And so you got those that their job is to relieve you of your resources. All right. Um, and so and just think about this. How much you don't care. Hold on. How much you don't care about what people think of you because you're in a position and understand this, right? This is why states' rights matter. You're in a position where everybody from your state is going to vote you back in anyway. All right. The black women and they keep voting in these people in New York. They keep voting them in New York. Some of these people outside of it, hey, what's up, David? Some of these people outside of these Democrat strongholds are used to be Democrat and they change. Now, I guess if the Republicans get bad enough, they'll change again. All right. But the reason why these politicians are wicked because they know the heart, they understand the hearts of the people. And the hearts of the people say, you know what? We gonna be in like Flint. Well, yeah, they love Thailand, but they don't stay there. And they only stay in, well, they stay in the regular red light district of Thailand, right? So yeah, that nah, they're not going to go to the outskirts is because you're going to have to learn Thai. All right. And like that dude who's married to this Dominican, he don't know Spanish, right? She knows English, she's bilingual. So they communicate that way, but he don't know Spanish. He's improving her English, but he's not bothering to so when he says, "Oh, you ain't getting a part of the culture," shoot, I'm learning the language, cooking, sharing. All right, but that's where we are. We are in a place where you got simps running everything into the ground with that mentality, that single mom mentality that I would say worse than females. So this is the last call. If anybody had something to say, um, that had something to add, this would be it. For those of you that just popped in, um, don't forget the thumbs up, right? Now, for those of you that are here who hasn't subscribed, the people who might be listening but not commenting, um, click the subscribe button, click the notification bell. And for those of you who's not getting the notifications, go click the subscribe button, see if there's a notification bell, and click that. That might be the problem, why you may not be getting the notifications. All right. So click subscribe, click the notification bell. All right. My PayPal me and my Cash App will be in the description box if you care to donate to what we're doing. And I think is going to be on point, um, going back to Palenque. And so when I go back to Palenque, one of the ladies, um, the ladies by the clock tower, the colorful dresses. Um, one of them, I'm gonna go with one of them to Palenque. All right. And so yeah. And so with that said, people, I'm gonna bust a move and be out. And I will holler at y'all a little later. But yeah, things are really, really, really bad. Things are really, really bad. I'm gonna probably do this video and put it up on my other channel. All right. Um, so if y'all have any more comments, y'all can leave them in the comments section. So peace, love, and soul. I'm out. All right, I'll holler at y'all at the next one. Hold on, let me see something real quick. Make sure I get everything here. Let me just remind you, this woman, yes, is the New York Attorney General. Okay, so I wanted that to be clear. This is what's making the news now. This is what's making the news now, and this is why everybody thinks that the United States is going to hell in a handbasket. No one trusts us, this government or anybody in this particular. This is the Democratic Party. They don't trust the Republicans either. Mitch, they don't trust him. Mr. Turtle. They don't trust him, and they shouldn't, right? And so it seemed like the only people that trust Mitch McConnell are the people in Kentucky that keep putting him in there. But see, that's the point. They keep putting these crooked people in there, and that's the point. All right. So, with that said, I'm going to be out, and I will holler at you all later. Oh, yeah. She was, why? Okay, let me say this last thing. The reason why they were going after your right to protect your family, because they didn't want you to be able to protect your children from them, and they didn't want your children protected. They didn't want your families protected. All right, the government sure doesn't protect your family. They don't protect. They come and solve what happened after it happens, but they don't protect you before it can happen. Understand the difference. All right. This is trifling right here. This is really very, very, very sad. All right. But that's how wicked this country has become. All right. With that said, I'm out.